Look at this. Two separate earthquakes rattled South Carolina today. This is video inside a furniture store in Elgin. You could feel some of the effects all the way here in Charlotte. Another one was detected just a few hours ago. Of course, people tweeted about the earthquakes too. Some saying South Carolina feels more like California lately with all of the earthquakes. Brad joins us now to talk about the latest string of South Carolina earthquakes. Brad, talk to us about a second quake reported earlier this evening.
Yeah, that one was at 7:03 p.m. and that was the strongest in the series so far. A lot of these were felt well up into the North Carolina area, into the Charlotte area. And again, that's a pretty significant earthquake, especially considering the swarm of quakes we've seen in that area. Now, earthquakes in South Carolina aren't abnormal, but the number that have occurred have been pretty extraordinary, and the fact that they've been pretty strong ones. Now, these are the 20 biggest earthquakes, or excuse me, the 10 biggest earthquakes that happened in the last 20 years. The one this evening was the third in the last 20 years. In fact, the strongest in 8 years. The one earlier today was number 5. So we had 2 of the top 5 of the last 20 years happen tonight. And you look at the other highlighted ones, those are ones that have occurred near Elgin as well since December. Now, speaking of December, there's been 44 earthquakes in this earthquake swarm is what we call it. So while seeing 1 or 2 quakes in this area would not be abnormal, seeing that many in that cluster is kind of odd, and it's kind of unexplained why we're seeing so many in that area. But it is an area where we expect earthquakes. In fact, most of South Carolina is in an earthquake hazard zone. That actually extends up into the Charlotte area. Our building codes are actually 2A for earthquake activity, and there are several faults in the central part of South Carolina. So we would expect to see earthquakes there. We just don't expect to see this many. Now, the question is there more on the way? There will likely be aftershocks, but the question is, are these all foreshocks? Is there a bigger one on the way? We don't know that, but the chances overall are pretty low, maybe just 1% that we could see a bigger quake than we've seen so far, guys.
Wow. That's some interesting insight, and we appreciate that. Thank you, Brad.